Окей, да. Мгм.
Я буду на российской.
Мгм.
Я думаю, что она может на любом, как ей удобно.
Да, да.
Раз, два, три. Скажите, уважаемый переводчик, скажите, пожалуйста, раз, два, три. Задержка сейчас. У меня сейчас твой канал. Ну, в смысле, я... Какой-то микрофон открыт. А, у меня, наверное, одинаковые ссылки открыты просто. Все. Ты английский услышал? Я в обоих каналах иду. А он вообще там на месте делает? Я его... Один, два, три, ты скажи. Ну, вот этот микрофон открыт. Мой.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Наші вітання.
Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Depending on your time zone, we want to welcome you in the presentation of the new UKRSIBBANK BNP Paribas product. This is the new service that is called Dreams, and it is actually primarily aimed at making all the Ukrainians happy, and therefore make Ukrainians really dream. Okay, dear friends, some of you have received a very impressive invitation. We have gotten the moon on a stick for you, so that your wishes come true more often. And to make a wish, you don't have to wait for the moon on a stick to fall into your hands. It's just already in your hands, just like dreams. I would like to welcome and present the people who initiated this project. And these are the people who helped the world see dreams today. And this is the reason why we're meeting today. Konstantin Lezhnin, Deputy Chairman of the Board for Retail at UKRSIBBANK. Henrik Roosevelt, the co-founder and CEO of Dreams in Sweden. Aline Helander, Chief Scientific Associate of Dreams. Eugenia Blisnuk, Master of Sociology and founder and director of project at Corestone and Grados. Alla Klimenko, expert and psychologist. These are the speakers who will talk about this product today. Just for the beginning, I would like to introduce our first guest speaker. This is Konstantin Lezhnin, Deputy Chairman of the Board at UKRSIBBANK for Retail. And he's going to tell you in more detail about what we have to tell you and present to you. Dear friends, good morning. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic about our goals, aspirations, and dreams. We all have goals, aspirations, and dreams, small and big, short and long. Goals for days, months, or even years. You remember last time when you thought about something for yourself. You loved your beloved ones, or maybe the whole country. We make a lot of wishes. We blow out the candles on the birthday party. Wait for the chimes of the new year. See the shooting star and make a wish to the chamomile. And even if we're sitting between two Mikes, Johns, Claires, and cats, we always try to make wishes. Because without them, life has very little meaning. Dreams make our lives much better and interesting. But of course, the issue remains to be open, how to fulfill those dreams and how to make them come true. And that's why we at UKRSIBBANK are convinced that one needs to dream more often. After all, every time we make a wish for ourselves, we're already taking the first step towards a better life. But quite often, what's the formula and how to make dreams come true? We think the formula is really simple, and it consists of the following steps. First of all, one needs to make a wish and put it down. Secondly, you need to calculate how much it's going to cost to perform it. And imagine when you want this dream to come true. And also number 4 is taking small steps to your dream and never back down from it. So we managed to put this formula into the smartphone of every UKRSIBBANK user. So now we have launched this service and it is available to all the users of UKRSIB online. And so we want to look at this product and let us dream together and let us see what Ukrainians normally dream about and how the service works, actually. Thank you. Thanks very much, Konstantin. I'm sure we're going to see you again and we're going to listen to more information about the service that we're presenting. We want to keep going forward. As I already mentioned, Dreams is the service that will make people happier. So we need the expert for happiness. And we have the expert like this. Right next to me and right next to you online, we have Alla Klimenko, who's the psychologist and happiness expert. So you can ask her whatever questions you want. Alla, please. Hi. I know that you've been doing this for 10 years. You study happiness. I'm not sure if it is a science or anything else, but definitely you can answer our question. Can dreams actually influence the people's happiness? Of course, this is exactly what I would like to talk to you about. Of course, dreams is something that pushes us forward. Dreams are the things that make us wake up every day, go and do something with your flashy eyes. And that's important whether we have the dreams, if those dreams are ours, and whether this is something that we want in life. How to make sure you've got the dreams. Okay, Alla Klemenko. Thanks a lot. I want to thank you so much for inviting me here. My name is Alla Klemenko, and in the last 10 years, I study happiness. Today, we're going to be talking about happiness and about dreams, of course. Probably the most important thing that I'd like to start with is to get the proper definition of happiness, because everything that we're talking about today have directly to do with the dreams, and dreams are connected with our happiness. So this is something I want to start with. So my favorite definition of happiness, happiness is pleasure with the sense behind it. Pleasure with the sense behind it. To take a more detailed look at it, here's what it's all about. I love my life. I love living my life. I love my appearance. I love what's happening around me. I love the mother nature and the people around me. I really appreciate my life. It inspires me, and everything that I can see is indeed what makes me get a lot of fun. And another ingredient in happiness is when I can evaluate what's happening in my life and what I've got. So apart from things that I love, I can appreciate this and feel happy about so many things that I have in my entire life. In other words, I'm sitting and thinking how happy I am to be able to speak at such a nice event. How happy I am to make sure I have so many people around me. Somebody's speaking for me. Somebody's preparing something, sound, mics, interpretation. We have the internet connection. You understand what I'm talking about? Being able to live a happy life, it's not always when things are cute and cool. I feel cool because I appreciate this. And first of all, there is myself, there is life, there are other people, but it's not everything that we've got. The question is, okay, guys, I don't want to say, you guys are happy. I want you to feel happy. You're going to say, Allah, there's something missing for that. And what's missing is the sense behind it. What I mean is, our goals, this can be our vision, our life calling. This is our services to other people. We're not only just living a simple life and feel happy and smile all the time, and we do only the things that we love and appreciate. No, it's not about this. It's when you have a certain depth into it. When I'm asking myself a nice question, I'm doing this for what? For what reason? For what purpose? So I'm trying to look for an in-depth sense behind what I'm doing and behind what's going on in my entire life. Can you imagine those two definitions? Pleasure and sense behind it. These are the two ingredients of happiness. And then you're going to ask me, what about our dreams, Allah? Tell me, where do you refer the dreams to? I would refer the dreams to the both. I would refer to fun and the sense behind it. Just a simple definition normally is getting much complicated by scientists. They called pleasure as hedonism or hedonism happiness and hedonism fun. So they give very fancy definitions sometimes, those scientists do, but there is a certain third type of happiness. This is cognitive happiness. It is based on our thoughts, on our emotion. Apart from having fun, getting pleasure, and making senses behind them, we all have, for instance, TVs, but we all have ideas and thoughts about us having fun and sense behind our life. All those things together seem to be very complicated, but I'm going to try to explain to you and deliver this information to you to make it real fun and interesting. And let us begin. Scientists have proven that every day we have 75,000 thoughts, 95% of which are repetitive on a daily basis. That's a very nice thing that Konstantin just said. He said, how often can we dream? Of course, people love dreaming, making their wishes on a sheet and a little piece of paper that they burn down later and then drink with the champagne. And the New Year's party, they always try to make wishes. Or when one sits between two Andrews or two Johns, they obviously love making wishes. And it's very good that people do dream. People clearly know what they want. But most of the people would say, okay, it's 0000 at night. So it's midnight. And many people think this hour is, or this minute is really special. So many things in our life come from the outside. They seem to come from the outside. And we constantly ask ourselves the question, how do I understand what I need? How do I understand what's important? And that question follows after the question, who am I? When I let myself being myself, when I let myself do things I love, when my dreams become the true reality for myself. Let's come back to statistic. We daily have 75,000 thoughts, and 95% of those thoughts are repetitive every day. So on average, 80% of the thoughts are negative. In the psychology, there is a concept which is called the prophecies that self-fulfill. This is something when we think about it, these thoughts start influencing us. We start feeling either sad or happy about that. And at a certain point of time, we start realizing that as soon as we have thought about it, it already affects our body. And then it affects whatever we do. So I think my dreams will never come true, for instance. That is natural. That makes me feel sad. And I start feeling that I'm a loser in this life. And of course, I'm not even doing anything to make those dreams come true somehow. And please pay attention to this situation, that this is how people sometimes work with anything. For my dreams to be real, I need not only to know what I want, but I also want to trust that those dreams might come true one day. But how does it work and how do we handle this? We're going to understand this right now. And let us first play the little game. For this game, you're not going to need anything special, but the only thing you will need, if you're watching, for instance, this broadcasting while driving, you're not going to be able to play it. Whereas when you're sitting in the office or at home, it's going to be very easy for you to play the game. Everybody here in the room can also play the same game with us. Please pay attention that we have these bending lines on our arms, on our hands. We just need to put our hands together and try to make those little stripes match. And please, let's actually do it like Namaste in India. One hand will be a little bit smaller than the other. Fingers on one hand are a little bit shorter than on my left hand, for instance. My right hand is a little bit bigger than my left one. But look, we need to now disconnect our hands, and the smaller hand, you will have to look at it and tell your hand, become bigger, become bigger. 4 times, become bigger, become bigger. Okay, cool. Let us put the hands back together, just following the same lines, horizontal lines on our hands. In accordance with our personal statistic, on average, 85% of the people in the room have their hand become bigger. It's magic. I don't know how it happens, but it does. But let us do it the same way with the other hand. So we're gonna bring this hand back to the original size. I'm saying now become smaller, become smaller, become smaller, become smaller. Take a look at that. The most people's hand becomes first bigger and then becomes smaller. And for most of us, it's important to tell our hand to become smaller or bigger 4 times. And there are things that we've been telling the others for decades. Sometimes in my trainings, people ask questions, does that work with hands only? No, it works not only with the hands. Being the positive thinking coach, I promise that it works with anything that we do on a daily basis. So if we believe that we are dignified enough to make our dreams come true, we actually may notice some of the details who may manifest that we deserve that. Otherwise, we're not going to use those brilliant, outstanding opportunities that exist out there. So we're not confident enough about this that could be happening. That's why we don't do that. But we've tested it with our hand and it really works, this magic. What is not giving us an opportunity for our dreams to come true? Definitely those are fears. The fear of not implementing, the fear of not performing well, the fear of missing something, the fear of being not worse than the others. We're moved by the fears. And whereas we could move towards our dream, we could have our ambition, create something new, take part, and take advantage of all the opportunities we have. But no, we choose to fear, to have fear. So my favorite technique is managing fears. If you ever set yourself some goals, I would now encourage you to do something very different. Please let us plan our fears. We grab our dreams, put them down, and start thinking, wow, what kind of problems can I encounter in the future? So put down all your fears on the list and look into your fear's eyes. And then we will be able to say, okay, this is my fear. What I'm going to do with it? I'm going to put down a list how not to let the fears enter my entire life. Here's something that I'm going to do for this fear to keep away. And now we will create another list if the fear comes true, if that actually fulfills. If you put them down, it's going to be obvious that there is nothing to be fearful about. You can actually implement and fulfill all your dreams and ambition. You're going to have support from the other people. You have luxury opportunities to take advantage of the situation. The only thing we need to do is just to keep going forward and look into the fear's eyes and act. Just act. You know, there are very good verifying questions that can actually help you work with your fears. Your first question is, what's going to become possible if my dream comes true? Please turn on your intrinsic motivation and think about what's going to happen in your life, how it's going to change if your dreams come true. And you also can ask yourself a question, and what's going to happen to my life if I never fulfill this dream? How am I going to live in 5 years, 10 years, or in a year? What kind of life I'm going to have if my dream never comes true, that I've dreamed about for all my life? All our dreams come to us with an opportunity to get them fulfilled. So our key objective is to select the dream, realize it is mine, and start going forward, and by trusting that indeed this is possible in our life. You know, between the information and transformation, there is a huge gap. And it is about 4 very simple things in order to transform your life and not just listen to another lecture. We need to do something different. We need to start doing things different. We need to want to embody and fulfill the dream. Number 2, we need to take advantage of the opportunities life is giving to us. For somebody else, it's going to be a mentor who will help. For somebody else, it's going to be just the new piece of information. For the third person, it's going to be something brand new in the entire life. Number 4, we have to take steps and keep going forward. And number 5, we need to believe in the things that will come true in our life. For transformation, we need to trust that we deserve to have the best. And if we want to actually be in that life fulfillment stream, we need to know what we want, what we desire. First of all, I need to understand what I'm aspiring for. And when I'm told, okay, this is midnight now, can you make a wish? I should have no doubt about what kind of wish I'm going to have. If I'm sitting between the people with the same names, I know already what I want. Even if you wake me up at night, I will straightforwardly call you my dream in an honest and genuine way. That's how your intent should look like. And there is a verification phrase. You might have heard of it. To want something with the whole depth of my heart, with the whole of my brain, we need to realize what we want with our wholeheartedly. And we also need to feel fine. We want energy, we want strength, we want power, we want fun. A dream is not something that, okay, I'm going to be happy when these things come true. You have to think, okay, I feel okay now. I feel great. I have fun, by implementing things. And to be in that mainstream, I need to feel great. I need to have pleasure from my life. I have to appreciate what I already got. At least for me to have the power. Sometimes they say, is the glass half empty or half full? But you need to notice there is just water in the glass. I want this, 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 and that. I want so many things, but look how much water you have had. It's already there, and this water gives me a chance to move forward. And number three, for my life to be just interesting and for magic to happen, I want to be attractive. I need to be responsive. And once the miracle happens, I just need to open my whole heart to them. I'm not fighting them back. It means you're ready to open up yourself for something new. You want to try something. You want to move forward and not stay idle when we are just reserved. Okay, I'm defensive. I have my own opinion and I'm protective and defensive. But there are three answers in this world. Yes, yes, but later, or I have something better to offer for you. I'd like to finish my presentation with a short story how one person dreamed to change this world. There was one person who dreamed to change the world, and he was thinking for a long time how to actually do that. He wasn't actually sitting back. He was actually working hard. And he decided to go and get a job in the United Nations. And through that, he wanted to change the world. Okay, he ended up in the UN, and over the next 5 years, he would try to change the world. He would have meetings with the heads of states. He was a big reformer. He was the best employee over the next 5 years, but never his dream came true. What he thought, okay, I had a different dream. I should have had a different one. It's the wrong dream. But let's try to change the country. So he became the president of a country. He was the best president in the country forever. He wanted to change the life in the country radically, and he did everything possible for this. After 5 years, the country never changed. He thought, okay, the dream is too big. I need to dream smaller. Maybe I might change the city. So he became the city mayor and did everything possible to change the city. As you realized, after 5 years, the city never changed. Okay, he said, okay, I want to start changing my family. And he took 5 years to change the family. He was trying to actually bring up the family, the wife, the kids, but they never changed. He said, so many years I have spent to change those people and to change this world, but it never worked. But the only person who I can change is myself. So let me start with myself, he thought, fell asleep, and then he would wake up and the world has changed, finally. The world is changing through ourselves. Dream big, because dreams are there to come true one day. Thank you. Dear friends, we don't have too many people, but we still can hear a round of applause. Alla Klimenko is a psychologist and a happiness expert. She just told us about not only dreaming, this is something that people want, but people have to live their dreams and live up to their dreams. Okay, we're going to move forward, and now, in order to know how things are working in practice and what's going to be happening with the dreams of Ukrainians, we have another guest of ours and another expert who will actually help us fix our dreams. I'd like to introduce to you the Master of Sociology, the founder and director of Cornerstone Grados, Eugenia Bliznyuk. She is sitting right next to me. Eugenia, good morning and good afternoon. I would have a question, because from what Alla just said, that it's important to dream, but do Ukrainians dream at all? What is sociology telling us about this? You know, Ukrainians, in all our information that we are collecting and analyzing, despite the corona crisis and the very vibrant country that we have a lot of changes, Ukrainians still remain to be optimists, and they have their lifelong dreams. And I'm going to display this to you based on our data from our studies. Please go ahead. We have done this special survey back in April 2021, having surveyed around 1,000 people, mainly in the urban areas. And this survey lasted for only 2 hours on the 22nd of April. The vast majority of Ukrainians, 70%, dream for their entire life. And this is very important because dreams are locomotives, they are moving powers. And this is action that is the key emotion that Ukrainians want to have, and this is what supports them in different life situations and circumstances. 44% of the people admitted they dream much less, but roughly the same share of Ukrainians reported they wanted to retain the skill to dream and keep going forward in life with their dreams on and on. 65% remember their dreams from childhood. It means that through our lifetime, we're coming back not just twice or thrice, but we are multiple times coming back to the things that we want to have as we are kids. Maybe this is about the profession that we want to master. We want to travel. We want to feel secure and well off. And 40% of respondents try to follow their childhood dreams, even until now. For the adult population in Ukraine, it's very important to support the dreams in their children. 89% of the adult respondents believe they are ready to refuse from their own preferences and ambition just to make sure their kids' dreams would come true. Ukrainians are very happy when they're getting an opportunity to help others to embody their dreams, if that's about their beloved ones and the people who are close to them. So 63% of the people would like to help the others to fulfill their dreams. And 18% are already doing this in practice. What do people dream about if we are talking about non-material dreams? For the today's world, one of the dreams is to have healthy, to be healthy, and for the beloved ones to be healthy as well. Secondly, people dream about peace, because our dreams reflect our fears as well. So 41% dreams of living a great life full of fun, and to fulfill yourself. 22% dream about a decent job, and 21% dreams about traveling abroad and continue to work there. What kind of material or tangible dreams our compatriots have? 44% believe that their key dream is to have financial welfare in their families with their beloved ones and their children, to be well off. The same shared dreams about traveling to different countries around the world, but because of the corona crisis, we are all locked down in our countries for over a year. But anyways, Ukrainians remain to be an open nation, and they want to travel. 41% dream about their own real estate, and 35% dream about saving money to have decent life, elderly life. And 30% would like to be financially independent. What kind of barriers exist in the minds of Ukrainians towards fulfilling their dreams? Naturally, the main barrier is lack of money, lack of financial resources, and 86% of the people had a dream that they couldn't fulfill just because of the financial shortages. And 71% dream about something they want to buy or could have bought had they had enough money for this. How do Ukrainians try to solve those tasks and resolve the issues? 39% of respondents are seeking additional profits. Either they have a part-time job, or to do more at the current job they have some additional funding they're trying to seek. 37% try to refuse from like optional purchases and redirect their budgets for something they want to buy, indeed. 12% have deposits in banks. 10% can sell something useless for them, either property or some unused belongings. And 9% would actually take loans from banks. But the vast majority of Ukrainians prefer making more money on their own, or just redirect their budget somehow. So these figures have shown that our compatriots are quite confident in terms of moving forward towards their dreams. All in all, I have to tell you that Ukrainians in general are very, very motivated and encouraged to fulfill their dreams, especially if they set the goals for themselves. They are ready to actively engage into making the dreams come true. Thanks a lot, Eugenia. Now, definitely we understand what's going on with the dreams among Ukrainians. All want to dream, almost all, and they want to dream usefully. We've heard you and Alla Klemenko that it's useful to dream, and only ourselves can actually create those barriers and boundaries that stand in our way. Eugenia Blesnuk was with us, and we keep going forward. Like I already mentioned, it's useful to dream, and only ourselves can create our barriers. So, since today dreams are coming true on your smartphone already. And of course, dreams may come true if you stick to the certain formula. UKRSIBBANK and BNP Paribas Group has embodied this formula in a new product that is called Dreams. And it is high time right now to give the floor to Konstantin Lezhnin for him to present you more details about what we're having since today. What kind of specially designed product for the UKRSIB online application we have encouraged and developed. Thank you. Dear friends, it is my pleasure to actually present to you the service that is now available for all the mobile application users, and it can really help those 86% of the people who dream but who do not have enough money to have their dreams fulfilled. And I'm deeply convinced that people are much richer than they may think they are. So they can afford much more things than they think. But for this, they need to follow a certain formula. Like I said, one needs to put down the dream, also understand what kind of amount would be needed to have it fulfilled, and take smaller steps to actually have it fulfilled. How it works in our application. Dreams is the new service that was designed in Sweden. It's been there for quite a long time already, and it has worked quite successfully. The surveys have shown that Ukrainians, well, they're not that different from the Swedes. And the results that Sweden has enjoyed could be achievable here in Ukraine. It's already checked so many times. It's a formula that works. And here, this is high time to have it implemented here. What do people dream about? We've heard about many, many things about travel, about things that have to do with family life. All these things can be put down in a mobile application. The way it works, first of all, you need to create your own dream, and then you have to activate the save hacks. Save hacks are the most interesting piece in that development, in that new software. The whole magic of this process behind starts with an application. You can see the button called Dreams in the lower bar in the center, and then if you press it, you're gonna have the new screen, the new UX, the new format, which is not similar to any banking application. It is specially designed to actually take you to the world of dreams, plans, desires, aspirations, and ambition. And here it opens the new interface of a black background where you can see right away your own dream, and you can create it over there. Having created your dream, you can actually add pictures, you can add a description, plan the amount, plan the date, and therefore you're creating one, two, or an endless number of dreams, plans, ambitions, desires that you're thinking about today. So they are going to be right there with you. The most interesting piece is Save Hacks. Save Hacks consists of two words: save, like saving money, and hack, like you hack the system, you break it through. These are the different algorithms that were designed specifically for you to seamlessly convert or transfer the money from your current accounts to your life dreams. Altogether, we have 16 save hacks, and in Sweden there are so many, and they are easily creatable. They can be added, and they mostly reflect a certain behavioral model. For instance, you can create a save hack on a daily basis. You can do them monthly, weekly, or you can do them one off, so it works once and that's it. You take a lunch. Okay, I want to have lunch. So, and you want to save money on it. So the application will understand all this, and you can activate it, and it's gonna transfer a certain amount of money for your dream to come true. Two of my favorites are Autopilot and Mr. X. Autopilot, this is an automated system that helps estimate how much you can save, and it moves towards your dream without your participation. While Mr. X, it's the procedure that picks up a certain amount of money from your current account and transfers it to your dream. So like a surprise for you. And I've been testing this service for about a month now, and I must tell you that the way like these algorithms work, I've never done savings in my life this way. That's the logic behind it, briefly speaking. But I must tell you that as of today, I've seen that around 1,000 accounts have been opened since 7 in the morning by our customers. If you have your account at our bank, you can actually press this button, update the application, and therefore you will create your own dream. And several save hacks can work to contribute to one single dream. They can be either regular or they can be ad hoc. So that's a very interesting service that we have an opportunity to actually supplement, upgrade in the nearest future. I would also like to share a couple of observations and feedback that we received during the beta testing that we've been involved in over the last month. We have invited around 1,000 customers for the testing purposes, and around 300 of them wanted to open their accounts. They have filled out the feedback forms, and there are positive and negative feedbacks. Among the positive ones, I'd like to share some with you. Well, first of all, people highly appreciated this kind of automation. So they have created the goal. After a couple of weeks, they see it with a surprise that yes, they are advancing there. So that's definitely something that is giving them much more confidence, and they already start feeling happier about their lives. People love the interface. People love that it doesn't look like the banking online interface. It's a rather cheerful and playful interface. Having described their plans and dreams, people start feeling that they have done the first steps already towards their dream. They love the design. They love that pictures can be added and have fun. And of course, there was critical information. I mean, people were criticizing it. So first and foremost, regarding the money transfers, after they have registered their dream, it takes 90 seconds to transfer the money. So 90 seconds is just something unbearable for our people. Of course, we want to work about this. Secondly, people complain that there are not too many pictures. They say these pictures do not properly reflect their plans. We need to do something about it. And thirdly, people expect and await that it's going to be a certain algorithm that will be smarter. If I have less spendings this month, I can save much more. They expect the system to produce different tips on how to save more money. Or on the contrary, if they spend more this month, they want this algorithm to slow them down. So the expectations are genuinely huge from our bank and from this service in particular. So we have to actually work in the nearest months and weeks on this. The service is up and running since today's morning. So I'm calling upon everybody to try to enter it and test it for yourselves. Thank you for your attention. So we want to thank Konstantin Lezhnin, Deputy Chairman of the Board of UKRSIBBANK, responsible for retail. I can congratulate everybody, those who are close to us, the co-founders of the Dreams service, and also the viewership, the customers of UKRSIBBANK, who can dream since today, who can save money to fulfill their dream. And what I've seen from the presentation, this is just a nice game to play, isn't it? One can actually play it with great use and actually invest money into your dream. I want to welcome everybody and congratulations. The service has been already announced. Now I'd like to talk about the whole idea behind it, how it actually appeared. And for this, we want to listen to the CEO and co-founder of Dreams in Sweden. This is Henrik Rosvall. We want to welcome you, Mr. Rosvall. And I'd like to ask you a question. Please tell us about this dream. How did you think about creating dreams?
Well, I think saving money is just a fundamental aspect of life, but one that many people really struggles with. So I was heading up the marketing for a large bank in Sweden, and that was when I realized that all the banking services are like one size fits all. But we as humans, so we are very different, and we need different support and different engaging kind of experiences to actually kind of realize our plans. So I wanted to change how people interacted with a financial service, and I wanted to attack this challenge with a much more kind of modern, digital, but also scientific approach to prove that people are more capable of saving if they have the right tools in their hand. There's also quite a lot of macro challenges that we are facing right now, and that we will be facing in the future as well. If you look at housing prices, it gets more expensive, and younger people are being locked out from the housing market. Since every generation becomes older and the pension system is evaporating in many countries, we move a lot of the responsibility from the kind of the social welfare system over to the individual. And we need to save and invest much more money to kind of take care of these challenges, but the younger generation behaves the totally opposite. They spend money that they don't have on things that they don't really need. So that was one of the kind of the challenges that I really thought that we could approach if we did it in a totally different way. Start talking about kind of saving. People know that they need to save. Start talking about the investment they know that they need to invest, but they still don't do it. So why do they procrastinate this? That was the inflection point of starting Dreams. One of the tricks of our success has been to not talk about saving and finances. I don't know if you've seen the old cult movie Fight Club, but the first rule of Fight Club is not talk about Fight Club. I think the same goes for savings. We decided to talk about the result of saving money and let your dreams be your inspiration and guide along the way. Looking at this journey 4 years after we launched the product in Sweden, we now have 460,000 users, which might not seem like that much for a large country like Ukraine, but it's actually 16% market share of everyone between 20 and 39 years old. And we help them save, invest, and pay off their debts. And this target audience is extremely important because they are the future. But they need to be treated differently than the rest of the customers because they have been brought up in a kind of a frictionless consumption society. They are very kind of purpose-driven. They have a low tolerance for bad user experiences, and they value highly personalized product and services. And that's why this audience is really the hard to get audience for banks, and many banks struggle to attract these audiences for many reasons. But we have been very successful in the Nordics, providing them with a modern financial service that helps them save more money than they did before. To be a bit more exact, and I think Elin will tell you more about this later on today, but they save 150 euros more per month with our service than they did before. Money that they can choose to save into savings account, invest into an investment account, or use to pay off the debts. It all depends on their dreams and what is the best way to allocate this money. So far, they've saved close to 600 million euros, and they have committed in their dreams to save another 8 billion euros to achieve their dreams of today. There's a lot of similarities between Sweden and Ukraine, I think, in terms of digital savviness, in terms of attitudes towards personal finances, and there's a lot of young people in Ukraine. So I think it's super exciting to have teamed up with the UKRSIBBANK to, as you've seen from Konstantin's presentation, embedded into the UKRSIBBANK online properties to give their customers and hopefully soon all the Ukrainians a chance to reach more dreams and feel a bit more peace of mind. From the beta tests that we've done, it looks very promising in terms of product market fit, and Konstantin shared some comments that we have received so far. But looking at NPS, which is Net Promoter Score, we right now score 42 in Ukraine, and that is very similar with what we score in Sweden and Norway after 4 years being live. So I think that is giving us great indication that we are onto something big here in Ukraine, and I'm going to follow this very closely and make sure that we also adopt the product into the kind of needs and wants of the Ukrainian market. So it's going to be a super exciting journey now with the UKRSIBBANK. So thanks a lot for listening. Do you have any questions?
Well, thanks a lot, Henrik. Roswell was with us today. This is the co-founder and CEO of Dreams in Sweden. This is the person that made Swedes dream much more about things. And now Ukrainians can also start dreaming through the Dreams service. We keep going forward. We have another speaker. This is the Chief Scientific Associate at Dreams, Ellen Hylander. And we're going to talk to her about dreams as well. And right there is a question to Ellen. Why was it so difficult to save money to fulfill the dreams?
Why it's so difficult? That's a really good question, and also a very interesting question, because if you think about it, we can send people to the moon, but it's still really hard for us to get people to save enough for the retirement. So it is really hard, and it is a complex task for the banks to handle. And the reason to that, one reason to that, is that it's really hard to change behavior. It's easy to change behavior in theory, but to do it in reality, it is a complex task that is not only visible when it comes to how people handle their personal finances, but also for health, for instance, that we all know what we need to do to live healthy lives in theory, but it's harder for us to actually do it. And also for climate change. We also need to change our behavior in order to help our planet, but it is really hard to change our behavior on an everyday basis, basically. And if I may continue, so on top of that, we also live in a society of endless consumption, where we are on a daily basis exposed to good deals that we of course don't want to miss out on. We consume more and more, and we save less and less. And I think that's worrisome, because our financial well-being is impacting our general well-being. So if we feel lucky or not, and feeling stressed about money is affecting us in a negative way. And too many today do feel stressed about money. So going back to why it is so hard to save money for the future, the answer is actually simple if you think about it. Let's say you go back 200 years in time. The average life expectancy was around 40 years old. So back then it was more about surviving here and now than planning for the long-term future. Today we live twice as long, which means that it's quite a new task that we're giving our brain to plan for and think about the future of something that possibly happens in 20 or 40 years time from now. So our brain is not developed for that, basically. We don't have a brain area specialized for saving for your retirement. Our brain is developed to think about the present, to solve problems here and now that you have in front of you or in the nearby future. And the problem of not saving enough does not give you any consequences here and now. The problems due to lack of savings mainly comes in the future. But one can, of course, solve this, and we have to solve this. And just like companies get us to consume more by triggering our emotions, we can get people to save more by triggering their emotions. So the method that we have developed helps people to save more money by making their money emotional to them and by making their savings goal emotional and important for them. So our method turns bank customers' emotions into a strength, helping them to stay motivated and focused on their savings goal instead of letting their emotions be seen as a weakness that makes us impulsive and seeking fast rewards here and now. So our method nudges bank customers to be more future-oriented, also thinking about what her or his future self wants. And to break the effect of our method down to some concrete bullet points, we see that on average, a Dreams customer saves €150 more per month than they do with a regular bank. We see that we significantly increases the bank customer's financial self-confidence, and that we also significantly increases the customer's financial well-being. And these two aspects are super important, because when the customer feels that they are motivated to act and that they have the self-confidence, that they believe in themselves to actually change or to take action, then they are receptive to engage in more financial products to fulfill their lives even more. And we see that customers in our debt-free products pay off their debts 2 years faster. So to see a platform that we have to develop together with our collaborating scientists around the world, now from today on integrated in USB, where we now together can help millions of customers, is beyond fantastic. So instead of people feeling stressed about money, more people can now focus on their dreams and what they want to do in life. And that's something that we at Dreams are super proud of. So thank you very much for listening.
Thanks, Ellen. The Doctor of Cognitive Science and a Chief Scientist from Dreams, Ellen Helander, was with us right now. I want to welcome everybody who have joined us. The product is presented already. All the users can actually go to UKRSIBBANK online and take a look at this new product. And most importantly is to say that the dreams may come true. Now we have a short Q&A session from the journalists who are watching us online during this. broadcasting session. We have put them together, and now we're going to be asking those questions to our guests and speakers who are here with us, and physically, and those who are connected online. The first question is to Alla Klemenko, happiness expert and a psychologist. Hello, everybody, once again. The first question is, how can one change habits of customers that sometimes evolve for dozens of years or decades? That's a very good question. We, of course, have our customs, we have our habits, and 90% of things are done like automatically. I'm sitting down here, you're sitting down there, and of course, this has a certain trend. How we consume, how we spend our money, it's about everything in life. How we want to do that. Of course, the main question is to wake up from sleeping, and this is about consciousness. This is something that you may want to do. I might be speaking simplistically, but for transformation, the first thing that I do need is to have a desire. For instance, I want to change my behavior. I want to pay more attention to the things that are important for me. When I become more attentive, then I let things go, but I pay attention to those things. I start noticing then some of my habits. Okay, here's my consumption habit. I'm not criticizing myself. I'm not punishing. I'm not actually letting myself subdued. I just want to watch my habits, watch my behaviors. When I let things go like they go, I start already changing something. But you need to realize that the change has several stages. First of all, I intend to change my behavior, but I continue to act the same way I did before. I might notice that I have certain behavioral specific features that I want to change in myself. Secondly, I have options. I have an option to do it differently, but I still do it the old-fashioned way. Or I choose to do it differently in the last stage when I have no choice, no more options available, because that means my habits have changed. Is there any duration in time which is required to make the real change? Sometimes people talk about 21 days, but different habits work differently. So for someone, it's going to take 21 days to change something. And for someone else, it might take years, and these habits will never change anyways. I need to show my readiness that I want to change something, I want to live a different life, and I stop resisting. There's a nice English word called surrender. So I try to surrender and sacrifice, but I am not resisting, but I'm surrendering. You see how many new tools we have emerging. We are trying to resist the new changes. There are stigma about money, about something new. So being able to work with this gives you a chance to change, and this gives you freedom. It all depends how much obsolete the certain habits are, how long they have existed in ourselves. It's mostly dependent on yourself, on your desires. There is another question here. How to avoid seduction of buying something one again and again? A super short answer is to put up an intro on your smartphone. And it should say, do not refuse from what you want most in your life just for the sake of having something else right here, right now. So you please sacrifice something that you may buy today, but it's not important for you, but expect to buy something really, really important for your life. You need to know what you want most of all. And when I know what I want, then those impulsive things will never actually take the primary role. So when I try to focus on things that I want, everything works. There's another question. How does happiness affect the financial condition of the person? Is there a difference between a happy person or an unhappy person in the consumption patterns? That's a great question. Thank you very much for it. There is Soda Lubomirsky, who's this happiness expert. If you take 100% as happiness, then 50% of it is the given share of happiness. That's how much each person, each individual is happy for. Can you feel happy? People 50% say, yes, I know what's needed for this. Only 10% of our happiness depends on external factors. These are the external factors that affect 10% of our happiness. Everything that I inspire for, this is 10%, but 40% of our happiness is the mindset. It affects my feelings and my behavior. Therefore, when answering the second question, is there a difference between happy and unhappy customers? We can definitely tell that genuinely happy people, they need much less to feel happy because they have their happiness intrinsically seated in themselves. But actually, their own sense of achievement is much stronger. Happier people make more money, and there's a simple explanation behind it. These people are high in terms of their energy. People want to work with those people. People feel cute to be able to be next to them. These happy people are not aggressive. They are negotiable. They are ready to create. Happy people create projects that then work greatly. They're not taking anything away. They're the givers and not the takers. That's why definitely, indeed, happy people make more money. And happy people who want to employ their dreams and make them come true, they always become even happier than they were. You can't make yourself 100% happy because of somebody else. You need to put yourself as the top priority, and then you will be able to feel happy. There are the givers. Like I said, they do everything for the others. And there are people, on the contrary, who are the takers. Then the most successful ones are those who are the givers because life pays them back. And those who are the takers, they are the most unhappy people in life, and they're most miserable. Happy people make a lot of money. They are very generous. They're ready to help the others. And those people who put their dreams as the top priority, then they are ready to give away. So it's a sober egoism. It's not egoism. It's a love for yourself. Alla Klemenko, thank you very much for very exhaustive answers to the questions. So we keep going forward. We have another question to our next speaker. And I realize that now we're going to have a question to Konstantin Lezhnin. Konstantin is here with me already. Konstantin, what's the connection between the dreams of Ukrainians and the dreams of the bank? You can answer this question like no one else. That's a brilliant question. I believe that in Grada's presentation, we have the answer. 86% of Ukrainians dream, but they cannot achieve their dreams and plans just because they don't have enough money. And the bank is about the money. If the bank can help those people trying to define their priorities and help people do that, then of course people will start doing this. And I'm sure that 86% will be a success story for our bank since today. And there's another question. How is the new service different from the other solutions at other banks? I'm sure you do the monitoring. The main difference is in the figures. There are different services that are about the goal setting or anything else. But first of all, you need to define the goal, the dream, and then understand how much you would need for this. But those safe hacks, they are very much linked to the person's emotions, to the lifestyle of the people. And there are so many of them. Like I said, we have 16, but in Sweden they have over 100 of them. They really help finding the keys to changing the people's behavior. When the person is ready to say, okay, this is mine, I love this safe hack, I want to deal with this, and it starts working automatically. So you can actually select the right self-hack to every person. So it's the difference in those safe hacks. One could definitely say that this is like an AI. This is like artificial intellect that connects to each individual. Yes, but it's the concept that requires more basic understanding. So far, this is not purely the AI in the traditional sense, like it is understood in the sector, but this is still quite a sufficient range of safe hacks that helps people perform much better. I also had one question. Can I change my mind while saving money for my dream and choose a different one? Yes, indeed you can. It's all doable. You're in control of everything. You can withdraw the money, you can close your dream and open a new one. It's flexible and it's available 24/7. So there are no limitations whatsoever like this. But definitely you need to enter and put your finger on your dream and stop it. And of course, this motivates people to actually continue and keep going. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you're going to have much more safe hacks over time. But even today, you already got 16, which is great. Thanks to Konstantin Lezhnin for answering our questions. We have some more questions here to Evgenia Bliznyuk, who is also here with us. Evgenia, people want to ask you, why do women save much more money than males? I think the statistics shows quite this, just this. Yes, thank you. That's a good question. Ukraine is a very traditional society. For our people, it is important to have the family, traditional values, and in each and every family, the biggest money saver is normally a wife. So it's not a secret for the marketeers that it's most efficient to actually work with the female audience through advertising and try to convince them. It's the woman who is the money holder in the family. And she would actually distribute the money for spending on a daily basis. She would manage the family budget, and she is also normally responsible for certain savings in the family. Here is one more question here. What are the most convincing arguments that will help perceive dreams as an convenient investment tool? What can convince the people? I think dreams will be very much appreciated by the Ukrainian audience because this is about an additional way to think, what am I dreaming about? And secondly, set yourself a very specific goal, put it on a calendar. And thirdly, you want to start following your dream and getting closer to it every single day by saving money. We all realize that dreams without any specific small steps on a daily basis will never come true. It's not going to be possible, indeed. Thank you very much, Evgenia Bliznyuk. Try to answer some of our questions here. Okay, we have another set of questions here, and it's going to be addressed to Hendrik Roswell. Hendrik should be with us on Zoom. Hendrik, what are the biggest dreams that the dreams helped fulfill ever? What's the biggest dream that it helped implement?
Housing is a top dream for many Swedes. A house or a cabin, a summer house, something around those lines. Huge investments, but it also is a life kind of a life dream for many people, and we've helped several people reach those dreams, saving up for the down payment, and then they're good to go. So that's one thing. Another I think is time off. Many people have dreamt about taking some time off work and doing self-fulfillments in many different ways, and that of course takes a lot of capital. We've been able to help them save up to get that opportunity. So that's I think impressive to see that people can actually do a lot more than they thought they could, and a lot quicker.
Thank you very much, Hendrik. Hopefully, the Ukrainian dreams will also be very ambitious in terms of its plans, and I'm sure they will be fulfilled, like the dreams in the dreams. I'm sorry about this. And one more question to Elin Helanda. What do Europeans dream about? What are the top 5 least expected and tricky and mad dreams Europeans normally have?
That's a very funny question. Mad dreams. So we have had a couple of dreams that surprised us, like how common they were. And one of them are tattoos. Quite many people save up for tattoos. And then I'm not sure, like, if there had been anything that surprised us really, because I think we didn't expect anything in particular. This is the customer's own experience, where they can make money relevant for them, no matter like their background, their personality, their interest, or no matter where they are in their life cycle. So when we built the platform, we never intended that we would promote certain dreams over other dreams. We are only a facilitator, where the most important thing is that people save money, that they save money instead of borrowing money for consumption, for instance, that they save also money for the future self, so long-term dreams, so they can handle unforeseen events in the future. And then where like what dream types they put their money into is it varies a lot, and it might be a boring answer, but I don't think there's anything that really like surprised us, because we know that people are so different from each other, not only what they dream about, but also how they choose to save money. So what save hacks and triggers they like to use. And I think that's something that like banks in general have been missing a bit, that they think like one size fits all, and that's also one reason to why not many people feel very engaged today in their personal finances and not feel very engaged into saving more money, because one size does not fit all, basically. I hope that answered your question.
Thanks a lot. Aline Hilander was just with us on a call, and she was answering one of the questions from the journalists. I'd like to express my words of sincere gratitude for your presence here. I want to thank all the speakers and guests who have joined us today. I want to thank all our audiences, and especially UKRSIBBANK customers. Now you can dream, and it's not just an empty sound. Your dreams may come true through dreams. This is the new service that you have on your smartphone in UKRSIBB online application. Keep dreaming, because this is about health, this is about money, and this is about the general feeling of happiness in life. Dreaming is the most important ingredient for a happy person. My name is Denis Zupnik, and I'm going to see you next time. Thank you.